What is up, guys? Teddy Cornwell here. Welcome to the Underdog Talk. And there's something about the Underdog. Today, I'm joined by the newest member of the Washington Commanders and our second commander on the podcast in the past few weeks. And guys, I'm still a Cowboys fan, don't worry, but these guys are shining on the field, and we had to get them on the podcast. Hailing from Lincoln, Nebraska, number 30, ladies and gentlemen, the big fella, Mr. Austin Ekeler. What is up, sir? How you doing today?
Yo, I'm doing great. I just want to put a disclaimer out there because I was born in Lincoln, Nebraska, right? So you got that one right. But then I actually grew up and pretty much spent the rest of my life in Colorado until I got pulled out to LA with the Chargers. So shout out to Colorado as well.
So hailing from Colorado, we got to add that.
There it is. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
How are you doing on this glorious Monday? I mean, AKA the start of the week.
Shoot, at this point, it's just today for me. I have so much going on right now. It's like, okay, what's on the schedule? And it's been a ton that's been packed in during this. It's really, we call it off season, but it's just the time I don't really play football, but I do all of my other endeavors that we'll get into here a little bit. So staying active, got the workout in this morning, and now looking forward to building the rest of the day.
Build the basket, build the rest of the day. Now, Mr. Ekeler, and we know you as a football player. We know you as a damn good football player. But little do people know, and myself included, that you're also a very successful entrepreneur. And I mean, you have your own app called, wait for it, Eksperience.
Hey.
I wonder where that came from. Where that came from.
A little. So yeah, I mean, everyone calls me Ek in the locker room, Ek or Ekeler. So got to play off of it. Now it's Eksperience. Yeah, but it's my newest project. I say newest. I've been working on it for 3 years. It's a fan engagement tool. And long story short, I saw just deficiency in the way that fans were able to actually interact or support the athletes or get things signed. And so I was like, I'm going to make an app where you can basically all go do that through the app. So if you want to do a one-on-one interaction with me, that's like a personalized video chat, social media game with me, or if you want to do a team interaction, let's say you want to subscribe to your players on the team, and every single month they send stories and messages to a newsletter that you can get. And then also, if you want to get something signed by me, how are you going to do it? How would you do it? You can go beg on the sidelines when I'm locked in on the game. You can go try to go to training camp. You can go buy something off of eBay. But if you already got the jersey, now you can send it in through Eksperience, and it'll show up to me. I'll end up signing it, and then it'll be back to your doorstep. So it's the newest revolutionized way to get things signed. So that one's a prototype. It's going to be coming out limited edition, but we'll expand it across the rest of the league as we continue to build out. So the other ones are ready to go though. So fan engagement brought to your phone in a new way, so you can become a fan beyond the bleachers.
And I did give it a 5-star rating on the App Store, just to let you know.
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm not trying to give you brownie points here, but we did give you a 5-star rating.
I appreciate it.
Amazing app. And we saw our guy, Tyler Biadish, on the app. And you know what? I think we'll be reaching out to him after that, because now he's a commander, but he still was one of the guys, still balls out. And I love that he's on it. So there's 20 teams on it, or 20 teams or 20 players on it. And there's a few teams on it.
Yeah.
Are you going to expand on the teams and expand on
the so the time we're recording this is very super early. We've been talking about this for the last 2 weeks, have been reaching out to players. And so we a year ago made a pivot and are finally relaunching ourselves and looking for partnerships with some of the leagues, and then also some schools, some colleges as well, to really bring this. And so once we get to a full launch, with say a potential partner like the NFLPA, then you will see a mass amount of guys that are being onboarded at the same time. So right now, maybe your favorite players aren't on there right now, but stay tuned, because it's coming. It's coming.
100%. And do you expand to NBA, MLB, or is it just going to be focusing on the NFL?
Yeah. So fan engagement happens across all different leagues. However, in business, you want to bite off as much as you can chew. Make sure you prove yourself, build up a reputation, and then when you go to knock on your neighbor's door and show them the great thing you actually have something to show them instead of giving them a hypothetical. So we're going to prove it out with with our guys in our league right now. Like I said, pending the relationship with the PA, and then going to continue to expand it to all of the different major sports. Because look, there's a lot of fans out there that would love to interact and get things signed, tap into the newsletter stories about, who's doing what, who's like, there's like different things, like funny stories that you can share, things you learn, your best fan engagement from the last month. And so those are the things that we're encouraging the guys to go and share for the newsletter. And so all of the money that goes into it goes back to the players. So this is built for the players. So as myself, there's a lot of different people that pull from my popularity, whether it's sports betting, whether it's fantasy, even selling my jerseys. I get pennies on the dollar from selling my jerseys. So I wanted to create a app or a platform that brings back some of that value from our fans and brings that capital back to us, but then in change gives a fan an actual opportunity to feel like they're connected to the players.
Yeah, and I mean the app is so smooth, it's so easy to use when I was using it. And how do you plan on promoting it? Obviously, you have a big platform. The players that you have on it so far have big platforms. I mean, is this going to be something that eventually is going to be a commercial on TV, or what's the end for that?
Oh yeah, so we're early stages. So you can go download the app right now, Experience, you want. But what we're going to be doing, actually, literally just before this call, I just got off with my marketing specialist about our plans that we're about to deploy. We're getting everything set up and how we're going to push this across for our professional football players out there, and all the different teams. And so we have a definite plan. I have a couple skits that I did. I did a skit last year. Do you remember who was it? It was the Office linebacker skit. Do you remember that old commercial?
Yes.
Maybe you're a little young. I don't know. How old are you?
About 25.
25. Maybe you're a little young for that, but I think who was it? It was like Terry Tate, Office linebacker. And it was a commercial where if you were messing around in the office, Terry would come and just drill you. And he'd be like, no procrastinating in the office, man. And so we did like a little play off of that last year for fantasy football. So we got more skits to continue to build kind of the awareness around this and show how fun that we're going to be able to have with this new app. So looking forward to getting it out there.
The first thing that came to my mind was when skits was we had Cameron Dicker on the podcast a few weeks ago, and former teammate of yours.
Yeah.
Did you see his skit last year for the
Oh yeah, his campaign. That was epic.
That was epic.
For sure. So yeah, I've done a few skits in my day as well, just promoting different things. So I'm looking forward to doing some skits for this for sure.
And what is the end goal for Eksperience? Is this something you want to continue to shoot after you're done with your football career? Something that you really want to work on going forward after your career, obviously?
Yeah, being the visionary of this, I think I want to continue to develop more interactions that we're able to do through the app, and then also expand it to basically all of the colleges now with the new landscape of the rules of NIL, and then also to all of the leagues domestically, but then go international as well, bring it to soccer. So, tap into the international crowd, the crickets, right? Where, hey, Eksperience is the platform that you go and do interactions with. Like, hell, if you want to go talk to your favorite player, have an interaction with them right now, where do you go? Where do you do it? Is there even an option to do that? Well, right now, the answer is probably no. And so we're trying to fill that void to actually create a new kind of market where, yeah, that's an opportunity now. Or if like I have a jersey on my back wall, it's been sitting there forever, I would love to get that thing signed. Well, guess what? Now you can do it and you know where to go. So that's what Eksperience is trying to do and bring it to all sports all across the world in the future. But right now, getting off the ground, starting with, like I said, my league, and then getting into the colleges.
I think the one thing that would kind of come close to it, and I think your app still beats it because of the customization of it, would be Cameo, but that's so limited in what you can do. You can't get that jersey signed. You can't, do this. So, I mean, that jersey sign is a big.
Yeah. And with Cameo, it's really good at one-time things, right? Getting your birthday, getting your shout out. But for us, we have a mechanism that continues to keep things relevant. So if the Commanders are playing the Cowboys this week, you can actually jump in there and root me on against the Cowboys. And after we beat the Cowboys, you can be in there, like you can get in there and send me some cheers, so there's things that are always relevant. Or if, hey, we're getting ready for the playoffs, it's different offerings about, hey, let's talk about some of your favorite playoff moments. And you can send me in a message and I'll respond back to you with, some of my favorite, opportunities that we've had and I've had in the NFL, playing in the playoffs. So things that are relevant during the time of when you're playing. So it's not something that's stagnant. It's something that fans could keep coming back to and continue to show support to their guys. Or if you have me on your fantasy team and you're like, hey man, I got a big bet or I got a big game coming up. You can get in there and send me some hype and be like, hey, Ek, I really need you this week. And I'm gonna be like, hey, Teddy, I got you, bro. Like, this is what I do. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna give it everything I got, right? And I can have that interaction with you. And so, or if you want me to talk trash to someone you're playing against. So these are all options that will continue to stay relevant, where you might buy 60 of these from different players across the whole league the entire year because of different scenarios and different things that are relevant and that catch your eye. So that's the goal. Or if you don't want to buy anything, you might just subscribe to the newsletter in there, and you want the whole team to, send you messages and stuff like that. Or you want to get something signed, go ahead. So we have variety and we keep it relevant.
Well, we've had Brandon Cooks and Alfred Morris on this podcast, former Cowboys, and if they're watching this right now, I think Austin said that the Commanders are going to beat the Cowboys. I just want to revisit that thing. I mean, it could be a 1-1. I don't think the Commanders will go this year. But, I mean, I don't know if they're going to pull an 0-2 on my boys this year.
Hey, it's some competition, That's what we sign up for, I'm going out there with the mindset there's no doubt in my mind we're going to win this game. That's why this league's so great, because everyone has that mindset. So there's no doubt I'm going out there. We're going to whoop some of that ass, That's the idea.
100%. And is it you reaching out to these players, or is it your marketing team? Obviously, you're reputable. People know you. People trust you. People like you. Is that a big reason people are coming onto this platform?
Yeah, so there's going to be two ways we're going to do it. Right now, we're kind of the barbaric way is just straight up DMs. Hey, man, I have a new opportunity. So we'll take it that direction. And as we get partnerships going on, like I said, if that potential partner plays out with the union, we'll go that way as well. So we really want to build our reputation by getting those partnerships with the actual institutions, whether it's the school or whether it's the players union, so that they know it's coming from a credible source that's being checked up on and has been vetted out. So it'll be a two-front battle, and that'll be something that continues to build over time because it is a new product. And so it's going to take time for players to realize what it is, how it works, which I've made it extremely easy for the players, where it's as simple as a notification and fulfill. And that's pretty much all they have to do. The tech takes care of the rest, sends videos, all that. You don't have to send things, even the signings, right? You show up, it either comes to you or you go to the office near your facility and you sign it and then you're done. And so everything is extremely easy. And so that's what we've been articulating to the players. And as we get more players on, we'll show them kind of the proof. Hey, this person, like for me, I did 400 engagements when we first launched this about 2 years ago. And now we've revamped it so we can bring on other players, but 400 engagements. And I made a significant amount of money from those 400 engagements, right? And so it was like, okay, this works. People want to do these types of things. Now it's about proving it and getting it in the mindset, of these other guys and showing them the value that it can bring to them. And not only that, so one of the most favorable stats that I had from Experience 1.0 is we had 199 5-star reviews from in the app. And it kind of made my day to realize like a small portion of my time was making such a big impact in these other people's lives. And so that was like reassurance that it keeps me going. Like there is a space for this type of app out there because it's so powerful to give access to ourselves, even though it might be 30 seconds to, a minute to 2 minutes, or even 5 minutes if you do a video chat type of thing. Like that makes such a big difference in the lives of these people that maybe would have never had an opportunity to do that.
Now, let me ask, obviously, when I checked out the app, it was still in the beta version. When do you plan on, removing that beta and having the real deal on the App Store?
Yeah, you will know because there will be a press conference and I'll be talking about it everywhere. So really kind of how it works is when we partner with an institution, whether it's an NFLPA or a school, we'll have a press release for that. So that'll be major news that I'll hit my PR team. So basically every time we do a partnership, there'll be a whole new press release about how this institution is now on Experience. You can go and engage with them. So until that happens right now, we're kind of in an idle moment where we're continuing to work through some of these contracts with some of these organizations and vet out how things are going to work and the revenue and the working order, so to speak. So yes, just stay tuned. If you can follow us on Instagram, we're literally just about to start posting all of our Instagram and posting about the people that are on there. And then also, I'm obviously posting about it too on my Instagram. So if you want to stay in tune with, when your favorite players are on there, that would be the best way to do it.
And I think this is a genius idea is, it's so hard. When Brian Urlacher was on the podcast, he talked about how hard it is after. And I'm not trying to rush you out of football because you're doing so damn well, but having a goal or an end goal after football, kind of that backup plan after football is so crucial for athletes and so crucial for people who are, so devoted to a sport for such a long time. Like we had Ruben Brown on the podcast, 9-time Pro Bowler last week, and he was telling me that he couldn't even get a job after the NFL, and he played 15 years. It's so having that goal already, Austin, being that head start, I think is super, super smart. And I think it's a game changer.
Yeah. Well, for me, the funny story about me, I actually was never really aspiring to be in the NFL. I was more so focusing on football to help pay for my education. And then I figured, because no one from my school that I went to the NFL. So I was like, okay, I'm going to use football to pay for school and then use school to get my opportunity in the workplace. And I took it extremely seriously. And I took it seriously enough where I did well enough where I got an opportunity to go and try out for the Chargers. And for me, I've always been entrepreneurial because of that type of mindset that I approached. And I was like, okay, school, education, let me make sure I network. Let me make sure I continue to build my understanding of the industries that I want to get in. First was real estate. So ever since then, I have a real estate fund. We have properties in Colorado and Missouri. I have my foundation as well. I've started several different types of engagement companies, Gridiron Gaming Group that's no longer around, that actually turned into Eksperience, a little easier version of doing interaction. So I've always been very entrepreneurial, and then also been getting into speaking, jumping on stage, doing keynotes, things like that, trying to help people be a better version of themselves, because that's what I believe life is about, the pursuit of becoming a better version of you. So I am very active, let's say that.
Yeah. And I mean, in your Instagram, it says entrepreneur. It doesn't say NFL football player, which I love. I mean, that, and obviously, you talked about how you didn't even know if football would be in the options. You were undrafted into the NFL. I mean, would you say that was your underdog moment in your life, kind of going to the NFL, being an undrafted player, and then grinding your ass off every day?
I think I've kind of seen the underdog moment play out several times in my life. It goes all the way back to even going to high school, where I was in a one stoplight town in Colorado, a little farm town, and then, had an amazing senior year and junior year of high school playing football, and then had zero Division I, offers come to me. So I ended up going to Western State, which was the only school that offered me to play running back. Everyone else wanted to change me to athlete and stuff like that. So there was underdog mentality there. The day I graduated, I had my truck packed. I was ready to go to work. I was ready to get after it. I grew up in the ranch life where I learned how to work hard. I learned, you got to get stuff done. There's no complaining. And so that was the environment. So I grew up in the tough love environment where work was a main priority. And bringing those philosophies with me to school, to college, really, I guess, boosted my mentality of me wanting to go and get after it right away. And I did that basically all 4 years there. And it was the same mentality, when I got that opportunity to play in the NFL. So I'm going to take that same mindset and the success that I've had and build off of that and go try to implement that in the NFL level. And then I was able to do that, made the team, and I'm still the same type of person, that I was back then. Now I've just done more and have my capabilities are also expanded in my network and net worth. So now I have opportunities and things, access to more that I had before. So that's why I continue to expand. It's like a tree that's continuing to grow, man. Like I have a whole team around me that helps me support myself. It's not all Austin Ekeler here. My name has become more than I am at this point because of all of the impacts that we've made, which is amazing. But it's like, let's keep going. How far can we push this thing?
And honestly, I think you can push it far. And I think a new shot is obviously in Washington. What were your emotions of going to the East Coast, going to the Commanders? What was that all like?
Yeah, it was new, and I use the term bittersweet because I loved being with the Chargers for 7 years, loved the community, loved the organization, but this is the part of the NFL, where it's, hey, sometimes things just don't work out, or you want to go a new direction. Which that's the bitter part, but the sweet part is now I have a new opportunity to show what I can do in a new environment, which I've absolutely loved. The community, the day I landed the plane at the hotel, people were like, "Hey, Mr. Ekeler, what's up? Let me take a picture." So immediately was embraced by the community out there in Washington. So that was an awesome experience, and it continues to go on. And then, going through OTAs and everything has also been a blessing too. And I've really seen what a culture the type of culture that Dan Quinn has wanted us to make come alive. He really, he talks about brotherhood. He talks about us, right, continuing to feed the fire of each other and hold each other accountable. And when we talk about holding each other accountable, we talk about the tangibles of what that means. We talk about what the effort looks like on the field. We talk about what the standard has to be. And so now it's been passed down to us as leaders on the team to continue to withhold that and make sure that everyone's holding that line, so that when we come together, in OTAs, we're feeling like, yeah, we're ready to take on anybody, and come into fall and we can hit the ground running. So it's been great, man. It's been a really great transition.
And you're joining that running back field in Washington, obviously, with already Brian Robinson, Chris Rodriguez, and Jeremy. Obviously a very talented backfield. What are your goals for yourself this season? And then what are the goals for the running back group as a whole this season?
Yeah, my personal goals have never changed as long as I've been playing in the NFL, and it is always to establish my role and take on that and treat it like that as everything during the football season. And so you never really know going into the season kind of what your role is going to be, especially when you're moving teams. Because, for instance, 2 years ago, I go into the season, hey, we have a stud offense looking great. I'm establishing myself. Yep, I'm the starting running back. That's all great. Guess what? Early on in the season, Mike Williams goes down and Keenan Allen go down. Well, guess what, Austin? You're going to start catching a lot more balls now. You got to run the ball and you got to catch it. So I caught 107 balls that year. We made it to the playoffs. And so it's okay. Come in, be ready for what is presented to me. But then what's the role? What's the role look like? Last year my role was a little different. Hey, Austin, we're going to take you down a little bit because your ankle is messed up, right? High ankle sprain, first freaking game of the season, and then come back when I finally get back from it, sprain the other one. And so, hey, you're dealing with stuff, your role is going to be reduced a little bit. So that was my role last year. So it's okay, how can I be the most effective? What role? What does that look like? And then just embracing that and try to take that to the max. So that's my goal this year is to find that and establish that, and then continue to be adaptable and make it work. But for the running back room, we continue to make plays. That's what running backs do on every single team. That's what we have to do. We have to hold the standard of making plays, of making it work, because when the run game is going, it makes everyone's life a lot easier, right? Then guess what? You have time of possession. Guess what? It's easier to run the ball in the red zone because there's not enough space to be throwing it, right? If you can run the ball in the red zone, it's going to be a good game for you that day. You're probably going to end up with a win. So that's what it comes down to for us. We got to make plays. And whether it's me in the backfield, whether for myself personally, I've been split out wide, I'm on the slot, I'm in the backfield, there's both of us back there. You're going to see a lot of combinations from us out there. So I'm excited to see our magic come alive when we get the pads on.
100%. And my final question for you is, obviously you guys just drafted the new stud in town, and Cornelius was saying that Jayden has already established himself. I mean, the leadership that he's already brought in OTAs, the passes he's making. I mean, is he going? I mean, obviously he's a stud. What is it like, playing with him, and how has he been like in the OTA?
Yeah, he's been great. You mentioned it, that he's been embracing that leadership role, and I'll give you some examples. We had a choice route out of the backfield, and I have a lot of options I can go on a choice route, and I decided to sit on this in particular route. And after that, he came up to me, he pulled me up. He's like, hey, how come you didn't break in there? And I was like, well, I saw the safety down there, so I just wanted to be definitive, and I didn't want to sit there, and I didn't want to get blown up going inside there. I probably could have broke inside. There was probably enough space, but it would have been bang bang. And so, like, he's a rookie, and he's calling out me. I'm going into year 8, and he's having that conversation. Another one is, a couple of days ago, we're done with OTAs. He texts me, hey man, about the same play. I saw exactly what you saw on that, right? We're out of OTAs now. So he went back and he's watching the film again, right? So yeah, he is 100% embracing that role. Those are 2 examples, and that's just with me. And so he's probably playing that out with other guys as well. After practice, we're over there throwing routes that, hey, I want to see this route, or I dropped it, it was a bad throw. We're getting all those routes again after practice. So it's embracing that teamwork, that camaraderie. That, yeah, I know you're a rookie, but guess what? You're on the team now, so you're one of the boys. So we got to you got to step up into the role that you're put into, which is the quarterback, which you got to be the head out there of our leadership. And so I'm so proud of him for coming in and doing what he's done.
Yeah, 100%. I think you guys are going to ball out this season. Now before we go, and before I give you the floor, first 5 people to download Eksperience, send me a screenshot. You also have to rate it on the App Store. Send me a screenshot. We'll get you some special stuff out to you to make your day. And also you get a freaking amazing app where you can connect with some of the best NFL players in the league, yeah, and more to come on that. Now, Austin,
Yes.
the floor is yours. Where can we find that social media? I know you have a charity.
Yes,
It's all that.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me in a couple different spots. Austin Ekeler is where I really post about anything. So follow me there on pretty much anything, Twitter, and Instagram. Really, I guess are the main ones. Don't follow me on TikTok. I don't have a TikTok. But if you want to keep up with any of the stuff I'm doing in the community, building weight rooms, I do a bunch of workout content, mental health stuff. If you just need a boost in the morning, I do some daily mindset motivation stuff. And also, if you want to, engage with any of your favorite players, in the future, not everyone's on there. We don't have a lot of people on there right now, but check out Eksperience. At least download it so you can, get reminders of, new players. So if you do have it downloaded and you follow the NFLPA or I guess what is it, pro football on there right now, then you'll get a notification of any time someone is added to that team. So go check it out, and I appreciate you, giving me the floor to express that, and looking forward to connecting us athletes and our fans, like I said, beyond the bleachers.
Yep, and all those links will be in the bio. Again, check out Eksperience, check out Austin Ekeler, check out his charity. Until next time, guys, the Underdog